Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Today we're going to hear from the Caitanya Charitamrita the narration of how Lord Caitanya observed Ratha Yatra in Jagannath Puri 500 years ago. I always begin my classes with my two favorite prayers. Trinadapi Sunichena Taradeva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Hare Nama Hare Nama Hare Namaiva Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyata Aim Gurave Namaha Om Parama Gurave Namaha Clean Nityanandaya Namaha Clean Goraya Namaha. All glories to the listeners of Sri Caitanya Charitamrita. Please hear the description of the dancing of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu at the Ratha Yatra festival. His dancing is very enchanting, so please hear of it with great attention. The day after the cleansing of the Gundicha temple, Caitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal associates got up in the dark and attentively took their early morning baths. They then went to see the ceremony of Pandu Vijay. During this ceremony, Lord Jagannath leaves his throne and gets up onto the car. King Prataparudra, in person, as well as his entourage, allowed the Pandu Vijay ceremony to be seen by all the associates of Lord Caitanya. They were very happy to observe how Lord Jagannath began Ratha Yatra. The very strongly built carriers of the Jagannath deity were as powerful as drunken elephants. They manually carried Lord Jagannath from the throne to the car. While carrying Lord Jagannath, some of the Daitas took hold of the shoulders of the Lord, and some caught his lotus feet. Jagannath was bound at the waist by a strong, thick rope made of silk. From two sides, the Daitas caught hold of this rope and raised Jagannath. Strong, puffed-up cotton pads were spread out from the throne to the car, and the heavy Jagannath deity was carried from one pillow-like pad to the next by the Daitas. While the Daitas carried Jagannath from one pad to the next, some of the pads broke, and the cotton contents floated into the air. When they broke, they made a heavy cracking sound. Jagannath is the maintainer of the whole universe. Who can carry him from one place to another? Indeed, Jagannath moves by his own personal will just to perform his pastimes. And while Jagannath was transported from the throne to the car, tumultuous sounds were made on various musical instruments. Lord Caitanya was chanting, "Manima, Manima," but Lord Caitanya could not be heard. While Jagannath was being carried from the throne to the car, King Prataparudra personally engaged in Jagannath's service by cleansing the road with a broom that had a golden handle. Prataparudra sprinkled the road with sandalwood-scented water. Although Prataparudra was the owner of the royal throne, he thus engaged in menial service for the sake of Lord Jagannath. Although Prataparudra was the most exalted, respectable person, he still accepted menial service for Jagannath. Prataparudra therefore became a suitable candidate for receiving Krishna's mercy. Upon seeing the king engaged in such menial service, Lord Caitanya became very happy. Simply by rendering this menial service, the king received the mercy of Lord Caitanya and Lord Krishna. Everyone was astonished to see the decorations on the Rath car. The car appeared to be newly made of gold, and it was as high as Mount Sumeru. The decorations included bright mirrors and hundreds of chamaras. On top of the car was a neat and clean canopy and a very beautiful flag. The car was also decorated with silken cloth and various pictures. Many brass bells, gongs, and ankle bells rang out. For the pastimes of the Ratha Yatra ceremony, Jagannath got aboard one car, and his sister Subhadra and elder brother Balaram got aboard 2 other cars. For 15 days, Jagannath had remained in a secluded place with the supreme goddess of fortune, performing pastimes with her. Now, having taken permission of the goddess of fortune, Jagannath came out to ride on the Rath car and perform pastimes for the pleasure of the devotees. The fine white sand spread all over the path resembled the bank of the Yamuna, and the small gardens on both sides looked just like those of Vrindavan. As Jagannath rode in his car and saw the beauty on both sides, his mind was indeed filled with pleasure. The pullers of the car, known as Godas, pulled with great pleasure. However, sometimes the car went very fast and sometimes very slow. Sometimes the car would stand still and not move, even though it was pulled very vigorously. The chariot, therefore, moved by the will of the Lord and not by the strength of ordinary people. As the car stood still, Lord Caitanya gathered all his devotees and with his own hand decorated the devotees with flower garlands and sandalwood pulp. Lord Caitanya also gave garlands and sandalwood pulp to the performers of Sankirtan. The 2 chief performers were Swarup Damodar and Srivas Thakur. There were altogether 4 parties of Kirtan performers, comprising 24 chanters. In each party, there were also 2 mridanga players, making an additional 8 persons. When the 4 parties were formed, after some consideration, Lord Caitanya divided the chanters. Lord Caitanya ordered Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakur, and Vrakreshwara Pandit to dance in each of the 4 respective parties. Swarup Damodar was chosen as the leader of the first party and was given 5 assistants to respond to his chanting. Advaita Prabhu was ordered to dance in this first group. Lord Caitanya then formed another group with Srivas Thakur as the chief man. 5 singers responded to the singing of Srivas Thakur. Sri Nityananda Prabhu was appointed the dancer. Another group consisted of Haridas Thakur as the dancer and was conformed of Vasudev, Gopinath, and Murari. Lord Caitanya formed another group, appointing Govinda Ghosh as leader. Varkreshwara Pandit was the dancer. There was another Sankirtan party from the village known as Kulinagram, and Ramananda and Satyaraj were appointed the dancers in this group. There was another party coming from Shantipur, which was formed by Advaita Acharya. His son, Achyutananda, was the dancer. And yet another party was formed by the people of Kanda. These people were singing in a different place. In that group, Narahari Prabhu and Raghunandan were dancing. Altogether, 4 parties chanted and danced in front of Lord Jagannath, and on either side was another party, yet another was at the rear. Altogether, there were 7 parties of Sankirtan, and in each party, 2 men were beating drums. Thus, 14 drums were being played at once. Indeed, the sound was tumultuous, and all the devotees became mad. All the Vaishnavas came together like an assembly of clouds. As the devotees chanted the holy names in great ecstasy, tears fell from their eyes like rain. When the Sankirtan resounded, it filled the 3 worlds. Indeed, no one could hear any sounds or musical instruments other than Sankirtan. Lord Caitanya wandered through all 7 groups, chanting the holy name. Repeat, Hari, Hari, Hari. Raising his arms, Lord Caitanya shouted, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Lord Caitanya then exhibited another mystic power by performing pastimes simultaneously in all 7 groups. Everyone said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present in my group. Indeed, he does not go anywhere else. Oh, Lord Chaitanya is bestowing his mercy upon us. Actually, no one could see the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Only the most confidential devotees, those in pure, unalloyed devotional service, could understand that Lord Chaitanya was dancing simultaneously in 7 different Sankirtan parties. Lord Jagannath was very much pleased by Sankirtan, and he brought his car to a standstill just to see the performance. King Prataparudra was also astonished to see Sankirtan. He became inactive and was converted to ecstatic love of Krishna. When the king informed Kashi Mishra of the glories of Lord Chaitanya, Kashi Mishra replied, O king, your fortune has no limit. The king and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya were both aware of the Lord's activities, but no one else could see the tricks of Lord Chaitanya. Only a person who has received the mercy of the Lord can understand. For without the Lord's mercy, even the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, cannot understand. Lord Chaitanya had become satisfied when he saw the king accepting the menial task of sweeping the street for Lord Jagannath. And for this humility, the king received the mercy of Lord Caitanya. The king could therefore observe the mystery of Lord Caitanya's activities. Although the king had previously been refused an interview more than once, today he was indirectly bestowed causeless mercy. Who can understand the internal potency of Lord Caitanya? When the two great personalities, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Kashi Mishra, saw Lord Caitanya's causeless mercy upon the king, they were most astonished. Lord Caitanya performed his pastimes for some time in this way. He personally sang and induced his personal associates to dance. According to his need, Lord Caitanya sometimes exhibited one form and sometimes many. All of this was being executed by his internal potency. Indeed, the personality of Godhead forgot himself in the course of his transcendental pastimes. But his internal potency, Leela Shakti, knowing the intentions of the Lord, made all arrangements. Just as Lord Sri Krishna formerly performed Rasa Leela and other pastimes at Vrindavan, Lord Caitanya performed uncommon pastimes moment after moment. Lord Caitanya's dancing before Ratha Yatra could be perceived only by pure devotees. Others could not understand. In this way, Lord Caitanya danced in great jubilation, inundating all the people with waves of ecstatic love. Thus, Lord Jagannath mounted his car, and Lord Caitanya inspired all his devotees to dance in front. Everybody repeat, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 1 second. All right. Let's go to part 2. So Krishnadas Kaviraj now says, now please hear about Lord Jagannath's going to the Gundicha temple while Lord Caitanya danced before the Rath car. Lord Caitanya performed kirtan for some time, and through his own endeavor inspired all the devotees to dance. And when Lord Caitanya himself wanted to dance, all 7 groups combined together. When Lord Caitanya desired to jump high while dancing, he would place 9 special people in the charge of Surup Damodar. And these devotees sang along with Lord Caitanya, and they also ran beside him. All the other groups of men also sang. Offering obeisances to Jagannath with folded hands, Lord Caitanya raised his face toward Jagannath, praying as follows. So everybody look at Jagannath while you hear the prayers Lord Caitanya offered. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Krishna, who is the worshipful deity for all Brahminical men, who is the well-wisher of cows and Brahmins, and who is always benefiting the whole world. I offer my repeated obeisances to the personality of Godhead, known as Krishna and Govinda.